Hey guys, welcome back. Rega Research has returned to making speakers after a small pause. I really liked the RX and the RS series, and I'm so pumped to introduce you today to the brand new Rega Aya. The Aya is said to be the product of 10 years of research and engineering. No Noise Hifi in Toledo were one of the first to get the Rega Aya speakers, and they were kind enough to lend me this pair for a couple of weeks, and I'm truly grateful for that opportunity. The Ayas will be available soon and they will retail for $2,295 US. Grills are optional at an additional 145 USD. They are a 2.5-way speaker design with a 1-inch ZRR tweeter, a 5-inch mid-range and a 7-inch bass driver housed in a ported bandpass enclosure. The most unique feature about the speaker is the cabinet. It is molded from glass reinforced cement. The material and construction of the cabinet makes it just a bit lighter than your normal wooden cabinets, but wait till you knock on it, it feels rock solid and inert. The structural rigidity is significantly improved from this material, from the shape and the manufacturing process, and this results in better control over damping the internal resonances. They weigh about 31 pounds, they're about 34 inches high, 10 inches wide, 8.5 inches deep. Like other Rega speakers I've known in the past, these are 6 ohm impedance and their sensitivity is published at 89.5 decibels. For this review, I used the Rega Elex Mark IV and my Audio Research VSI 60 amplifiers. My analog sources were an LP12 turntable with a Dynavector 20x2 high output moving coil feeding into the Elex's phono stage. My other analog source was the Rega P10 turntable fitted with a Koetsu black moving coil, and I used my Manley Chinook as the phono preamp, which then fed into my Audio Research VSI 60 amplifier. For digital, I used a Blue Sound Node streamer whose optical out fed into the Elex's digital in. I had the Ayas in my basement listening room. That's roughly 1,000 square feet with a 10-foot ceiling. I had them 5 feet from the front wall, 11 feet apart, and 11 feet from my listening chair. I had them slightly towed in with the apex of the imaginary listening triangle meeting a couple of feet behind me. Okay, so how does the Aya sound? The attributes that immediately stand out are spacious soundstage, both in terms of width and depth, very high resolution, and superb dynamics. So let me expand on that by taking you through a few album examples. The album Rejoice by Tony Allen and Hugh Masekela. Fantastic album musically, and if you like modern Afrobeat jazz, it's really well recorded with almost no hint of compression. So this is the album to showcase explosive dynamics and natural tone of instruments and vocals. Track number 4 on side B is called We Have Landed. The dynamics from the snare and the kick drum pack a punch, and with the Aya, I can hear and feel the impact. The Aya also showcases the natural tone captured in this recording and the spatial cues of the drumsticks tapping on different spots on the hi-hats and the tightness of the skin of the snare drum and the kick drum. Tony Allen talks and introduces himself and Hugh Masekela. His voice sounds spookily realistic and deep. Then Masekela's horn explodes with such dynamics and detail, and you can't help but bob your head to the tune and take all that detail that's coming to you in an unforced manner, and it's perfectly timed. Okay, next up I want to talk to you about how the Aya fared with nuanced piano recordings. This album is called Blessing by Gonzalo Rubalcaba, Every track on this album is ear candy, both in terms of musicality and recording quality. The dynamic contrasts between soft touches and hard hitting of the piano keys is really well portrayed here. The Aya communicates the timing with urgency and delicacy when called for, and it does it so well that the musical message is received wholly and immediately. And the delicate percussion work on the cymbals by Jack DeJohnette sounds very clear and it's tonally rich. If you enjoy piano jazz trios, you should listen to this album. Next up is Alan Parsons' Tales of Mystery and Imagination. This is their debut album. This is a progressive rock album. And one of my favorite tracks on this album is The Telltale Heart. And although I've heard this album many times before, the presentation from the Aya showcased the pace and punch of this song right from the beginning. The plucking from the running bass guitar, the big grunge of the rhythm guitar, and the pounding kick drum and the screaming vocals, they just come out and grab you. You may wonder, as I was going through my track examples, that I did not comment on the bass, the mid-range, or the treble individually. Yes, all these tonal qualities were exceptionally good. But in my humble opinion, what makes a good speaker great is much more. The Ayas convey the musical message with immediacy and highlight both macro and micro dynamics equally well. And the tonality is just so convincingly real sounding. At the moment, what I have them to compare to right now are the Vienna Acoustics Mozart Grand Symphony editions. Those cost quite a bit more than the Aya, but the Aya betters them in dynamics and the pace and timing preservation. When compared to the Harbeth C7 XDs, the Ayas equal them in resolution and detail, but they're just better than the C7 XDs when it comes to dynamics. The only other speaker that I can remember that excited me so much with dynamics and nuanced detail retrieval and in the portrayal of the depth of the soundstage are the ProAct D20Rs. The D20R rendered difficult instruments like piano, clavinets, vibraphones, and vocals with slightly better realism, but then again, at 6,500 USD, the D20Rs are almost 3 times the price of the Ayas. What would be a very interesting comparison is the Aya versus the Acoustic Energy 309, which just came into my listening room, so watch out for a video on that, and that's coming up in a few weeks. And you can check out the performance of the Aya yourself at No Noise Hi-Fi in Toledo, Ohio. They are located at 4470 Monroe Street. If you are in Metro Detroit or anywhere near Toledo, you've got to check them out. On demo, you will find Rega, ProAct, Acoustic Energy, Gershman Acoustics, and quite a few other fantastic brands. If you have not watched my video on the Rega amplifiers that match very well with the Aya, I'll post a card on the screen for you and I invite you to watch them now. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed my take on the Rega Aya. Stay tuned for my upcoming video on the Acoustic Energy 309. Take care. Until then, bye for now.